I've been VTubing for around 6 months now, and if I can go back in time, there would be a lot of different things I would have done differently. And in this video, I'll get into my failed attempt at a debut that happened a few months back.
Oh my god, my computer's squeaking out. Okay.
What the f is my titty doing that? I'll share some useful information to help someone who's also starting out, or someone who's just curious on what happens behind the scenes. So funny enough, whenever I started VTubing, it wasn't really my intention at first, which is, I don't know, kind of sounds weird. I originally made this creature out of a whim of boredom because I decided to pick up Blender for animation, to make game mods, and well, I know she's a little ugly, but she had a little bit of charm, okay? I eventually got overwhelmed and decided to scrap the model halfway through, and I just told myself that I wasn't cut out for 3D modeling. And well, I did scrap it for a whole 2 years. Anyways, one messy breakup and Identity Crisis later. Why did he leave? Nah, I'm kidding. I loved him. I'm hyper focused on Blender, and boom, I'm back on that shit. YouTube tutorial left and right. And I finally understood that one problem that made me give up in the first place. And well, I didn't really do a whole lot with her streaming wise. I forgot to mention this, but I quit like a week in, and 4 months later, this happened. And suddenly, on one fated night, not necessarily any different from any other night, but out of nowhere, I decide, hey, you know, I'm gonna load up OBS while I'm playing Honkai Star Rail, and I'm just gonna stream willy-nilly for no particular reason. And I'm not going to care whatsoever about my viewer count. And lo and behold, I actually had a few very chill people in my chat that either like to mess with me or just like chilling with me and just hanging out, you know? One of these people being one of my closest friends of today. Hello, Tempest. Thank you for randomly joining my chat one day to have me as your background noise as you play Resident Evil 9 Requiem. Thank you. Very shortly, I started to get bored of Honkai Star Rail and decided to play one of the best indie games of all time for the first time in my whole life. Undertale! And honestly, I got a pretty nice, small, consistent community for a bit that totally didn't bully me, hate on me for one mistake, but
And you go, it can't be this hard. Yeah, let me just like hack my own brain and just fucking Mark Zuckerberg take over my shit so I can actually play the game right. Shut the fuck up and get on my chat, bitch.
well, a few people were nice and stayed with me even when I didn't feel like playing Undertale. Randy being one of those people. Thank you, Randy. But don't even get me started with the Deltarune elitist in my chat whenever I decided to play that right after. Hard times. But all of that aside, there's this one big grave mistake that I was making the entire time throughout my streaming journey, and I've only realized this recently. So let's get into that. Now, the average Joe Schmo will most likely say, streaming is so easy. Everyone and their dog can do it, as long as they pick up a microphone, which is yes and no. Now, yes, I do agree that streaming is super easy and a lot of people can just go up and start a stream. It's probably the easiest part, and it's definitely also easy to start up a stream every day. But so many of those same people give up the moment they realize just streaming every day does not cut it. In order to actually grow, you need to make those VODs and those clips that you created into actual digestible content outside of streaming, even when you stream on TikTok. And for so long, up until recently, I realized, oh shit, I've barely been posting on any other platform. I've just been going live on TikTok and Twitch every day, and I haven't paid attention to posting anywhere else. I was so focused on being on time for stream every day that I neglected one of the most important parts of growing as a streamer, that being actually posting on other platforms. And my dumb self at the time thought, oh well, I think my model is the issue. I spent 2 whole months in Blender and streaming for 4 hours daily, pouring countless hours in the Blender, trying to perfect my model, trying to occasionally post TikToks here and there, all while having a horrible sleep schedule. So I would wake up, stream, go to Blender for the rest of my day, and just go straight back to sleep. Now, how do you think that impacted my motivation? A lot! And well, in the end, that's all on me. I thought since I had the free time, it was okay and that I wasn't overworking myself. But once I was finally done with my model, the same day I wanted to debut it. Sorry, a little editing, previous rant. From the amount of all-nighters that I've pulled, there's no way I didn't take 10 years off my life. I ended up being late by 2 hours. Why? Because I fell asleep after being awake for 2 days straight working in Blender. Despite the disappointing and temporary setback, I still got my ass up and tried showing off my brand new flashy model. That took me 2 months straight of constant work. I thought having a new model that looked way better than the last would magically improve the quality of my content. But, well, in the end, all it really did was burn me out of content creation. If you neglect your me time, it can be detrimental to your mental health. If you're trying to be a content creator, it will most definitely tank your motivation and any future progress. And this doesn't mean if you burn out, you have to quit content creation. But this video is more so in the way that it is important to take care of yourself and not to overwork yourself when starting content creation. It can be easy, especially when there's so many programs you need to learn in order to create quality content. Programs like Premiere Pro, Photoshop, maybe even art programs like Clip Studio if you're an artist and you want to draw your own thumbnails. And well, if you're insane like me, make your own VTuber model while also trying to learn Blender at the same time. Yikes. And take it from me, as someone who's currently in burnout and is actually trying to recover from it, I may not be the biggest streamer, but without a doubt, the countless research and trial and error I've been through in the past 6 months, being on time for stream is the last thing you should be worrying about if you're trying to start streaming. I hope this video has helped at least one person, and always just try to remind yourself to be gentle to yourself and make sure to drink water whenever the hell you can, man. That's very important. Eat your protein, eat your fiber, eat your calcium, which is something coming from me, but do as I say, not as I do. Don't overwork yourself in Blender, don't overwork yourself in Premiere, don't overwork yourself in general. Take breaks, have your own free time, hang out with your family, hang out with your friends. It's very important. I hope you have a good day, and I'm gonna head out now. Goodbye.